Hey, what's up? Hello, it's Katie Colson here. Welcome back to my channel. And I am shocked to be coming at you with February 2025's reading wrap up. Who is she? Who is she? I told myself last year, 2024, my goal was to do a wrap up of every single month. I did one. I did January. And that was it. So oh my gosh. But listen, I'm doing February. And is it only 2 months? Yes, but it's already double. We've already doubled in size what we did in 2024. So honestly, amazing. I am going to tell you about the books that I read in February. And then I'm also going to tell you about the books that I am currently reading and that I'm planning on reading in the new month. As of, we are on the 1st. Well, I guess technically now it's the 2nd of March, but whatever. Okay, so the first book that I read is At Dark, I Become Loathsome by Eric LaRocca. And what was so cool about this is that I put a very honest review on Goodreads, which was not entirely positive. It was in large part like a critical analysis kind of this book. And even still, or maybe because of, the publishing team reached out to me and said that they really respected my review. And I don't know, the way that she worded it was just so kind and honest. Like she was like, I really respect what you said. And I respect the time you took to like think about it and like write all that out. And I want to know if you want to receive a copy of this book. If you don't, I totally understand. I know you didn't give it 5 stars. And I was like, wow, that's so, I don't know, just thoughtful of you to do that. And I said, yes, I do, because this book, I gave it a 4, but in my review, if you want to see it, it's on Goodreads, I say that I'm like, yeah, maybe like I felt like it was a 3.5, but I had to give it a 4 because the 5-star energy of the way that Eric LaRocca spoke about grief and depression and the loss of a loved one and just the, oh my God. The depression in this book. If you are going through a hard time in your life right now, if you're feeling on the edge, don't read this. It's not for you, babes. It's not for you. This felt to me, and I know other people have had different opinions, but
I disagree.
That's the glory of the world, babes. This felt to me the most novel-esque of Eric LaRocca's stories that I've read in previously, which I've read a lot of them, but this really felt like a novel to me personally. But this is following a man who has, don't know if we say it in the summary, what all he's lost, but he's lost a lot, and it is very heartbreaking. Like this man, can he get a break? No, he can't. But we're following this main character who is going through a lot of depressive episodes because of very, very, very Shakespearean tragic events that have happened in his life. And I have heard and understand and vaguely agree with a lot of opinions of this main character is an edgelord. He's literally My Chemical Romance section of Hot Topic, but on the clearance section. You know what I'm saying?
Dad, do you want to hear the new song I just learned?
Oh yeah, buddy, let's hear it. No, buddy, stop. You don't know what you're doing.
When I was a young boy.
But to me, that was so juicy and meaty because to me, I felt like the way that he was so like, I'm not like other guys, I'm gonna be so different, was his way of pushing people away. He was like, I'm gonna get a ton of piercings, I'm gonna get a ton of tattoos that are in places people would not want them to be seen, that are things they wouldn't want to see, because I don't want people to ask me if I'm okay. And that form of depression of like, I want people to stop caring about me so that I can do what I want, which is not to care about me and not to care about my life, was so well depicted in this, and I loved it, and it was, oh my God. That's the thing I was grappling with, is that I was left unsatisfied by the ending, only because I wanted it to end a very specific way, and it didn't, because I'm not the author. Like, what do I know? But the ending I wanted, for me, chef's kiss, like amazing. But I think the depiction of grief and depression in this book alone makes it worthy of at least a 3-star. Like, if you read this and you hated it, cool. But I don't feel like you can deny how well he depicted someone who's going through something as intense as the gravity of what this main character is going through, or has been through, or is currently continuing to go through. So yes, I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. It's, in its entertainment value, not 4 stars, but I think it deserves 5 stars, and I'm really glad that I read it, and I'm happy to own it. So yes, I would suggest it. And honestly, what a creepy ass cover. Like, are you joking? This is crazy. I'm realizing now that I didn't actually tell you what it was about. But then again, it would be really hard to explain without spoiling anything. So we're just gonna leave it at that, okay? Cool. Okay, listen, we're always here to learn things about ourselves, okay? Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. This is gonna be in my next vlog. I should have been done with this a week ago, but we're still here, sitting on footage, not knowing what to do with it. I read this and Creep, which we'll talk about next, in a vlog.
Can you calm down? Can you calm down? I heard you 3 different notifications ago. I know, pod expired, but you have like 8 hours before it actually expires. So can you like maybe have like a soft thing? Not like a ding ding. It's annoying, honestly. I'm so sorry to be the one to tell you that, but it is annoying.
Anyway, hi. Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. The fact that the publisher, the editor, whoever, made her change the title from Wet, W-H-E-T, to Deep End, jail. Wet would have been so funny and so apropos to this book. I do not know what other people's opinions are of this book. I don't know. I just know that Ali Hazelwood, to me, is yeah, I'll probably read it. Yeah, I'll probably read it. Will I always? No. But most of the time, yes. I am shocked at how many times I have really loved Ali Hazelwood books. Love Theoretically is my favorite by far.
Where's the kindness? I'm finding it. It takes you that long to find it? It does. It takes you that long to find it? It does. Okay.
Love Theoretically, my absolute favorite. Then Bride. Wait. But what about, oh wait. Okay, maybe and then Bride and maybe then this. And then Love Theoretically. All right, the Love Hypothesis. I really enjoy Ali Hazelwood. I feel like she has such a good way of depicting emotions in like not too deep, but still sensitive ways. And her books are funny. Like, they are funny. And they're so fun without being too deep, too hallmarky, too whatever. And I just loved this so much. I loved it so much that while I was listening to the audiobook, I overnighted this book to me because I needed it physically. I needed to tandem read this. I was obsessed. And I kept telling myself, okay, in retrospect, it's going to be a 4-star because like you're not going to think about it. Okay, but why was I shrieking in my car? When you see the vlog, you'll know. Why was I shrieking about a man? I'm sorry. I feel like the grace of God has to be put in something for me to be shrieking over a man. So Ali Hazelwood, I dare say you deserve 5 stars. My girl. What is this about? Honestly, it doesn't matter because it's a romance, okay? Like, it's 2 hot people and then happy ever after. But this is about a Olympic diver and Olympic swimmer. The girl's a diver, the guy's a swimmer. He's Swedish, if I am recalling correctly. And Oh my God. It's so hot. It's so hot because like he gets her on a way that's just like molecular. Like literally he says toward the beginning that he's like, I don't understand why, but you're just someone that is easy to me. Like I get what you're saying when you're not even saying it. Your body language speaks to me. And I was like, oh my God. Knowing someone like that. So good. Also, I'm sorry. On a regular edition, we get this gorgeous copy, and then you get these like, which I don't even know if you can be able to tell, but the gorgeous in pages and where, oh wait, he's doming her. In this one, she's doming him. Which, by the way, not trigger warning, but just warning in case you're not into these kind of things. Which I'm not, but for the plot, I am. This is heavily about BDSM, about her being sexually attracted to being dominated, being told what to do, being not, it's not degradation, it's not that, but being commanded by this towering figure, and then his sexual attraction to telling someone what to do and them doing it. And I feel as though as I'm saying that, that sounds icky, and it's not. Like, it really isn't. Like, the way that they, I don't know. Like, I just feel as though this kink, I can't really speak on it that much because I haven't read it very much. And this is the first, like, really in-depth, like, going into the discussion of what it means. So I'm not the person to look to on whether or not this is well done. But to me and my ignorant little brain, I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was so good. I love the main character. I'm sorry, I love the guy main character. The female main character, oh.
That was dramatic. We could both agree that was dramatic, right? Like, okay, good. We can both agree on that.
The main female character, a tiny bit of a wet blanket. A little bit of a wet blanket. Just a little bit. She was not very interesting. That sounds so bad. I like her, but the other characters were way more interesting. And Penny, the girl, best friend, love her. I mean, she did do one messed up. Well, okay, listen, we forgive you. Penny, we forgive you. But I really like this book. And honestly, I have to give it 5 stars. If you were talking to me logically, I would say 4.5. But I was squealing in my car. So Ali Hazelwood, you deserve this. 5 stars. And then for the same vlog, I picked up Creep by Emma Van Straaten, I believe. I've never read from this author. I don't think this is their first release, but it is one of, if I'm not mistaken. This is a love story, obsession, psychological thriller-esque. And I picked it up because Jan from Jan Agaton said, I'm only 5 minutes in, and I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. And what's so funny is that she said, oh, it has very much the writing style of Chelsea G. Summers for A Certain Hunger, and has very much kind of plot story structure of My Husband by Maud Ventura. I started listening to it, immediately went and downloaded it, immediately started listening to it. And then the second I went, wait, hold up, pause. I need to go and tell Jan, I see what you're saying. I was exactly 5 minutes in.
I'm kind of psychic. I have a fifth sense.
I was exactly 5 minutes in. The Kismet, I swear, every single time this happens, I feel as though people do not put enough credit on it that it deserves. Are Jan and I the same human being? Are we? Because I was about to say we've never been seen in the same room. Yes, we have. I'm sorry, never mind. There's documentation that we are not the same person. But what? It's crazy. Okay, Creep is about a woman who cleans houses for a living, and the guy that she starts cleaning house for, she becomes obsessed with him without ever actually having met him, because she's looking through his stuff and she's like, oh my God, like, I know that like I could be obsessed with that music if I wanted to be. And then we would be obsessed with it together, or like going through his fridge and being like, tasting his wine and being like, oh my God, like this wine is so good. Like he knows what he's talking about. Like he's so perfect. Or looking at his photos and being like, oh my God, like he would love me. I just know for a fact he would love me.
Why are you so obsessed with me?
Because she's, obviously based on what I said, mentally unwell, clearly. I know I had the exact same feelings that Jan had, where I was like, I was in it. Oh my God. The first half, I was like, nothing but a 5-star. I will not hold space for anything but a 5-star. Oh, it's so good. I'm obsessed. The writing is so good. I will say the ending, I was like, where are we going? What's going on? Like, not in a bad way. That's not what I mean. It just is that the last third lacked the fast pace and kind of complexity that the first 2/3 had. So I had to listen to the ending of this book, I'm not joking, 4 times. 4 times. To really like understand what happened in the end. Like, not just like get it, but be like, okay, can I tell somebody what happened? And I think that's too many times if the book isn't, being purposely, you have to read this more than once to get it. In that case, great, cool, work, cook, go off, love. But this, I struggle with what I want to rate it. I think like, do I give it a 3.5? I think I'm going to give it a 3.5 because I really was very interested. See, this is the struggle, is that I was so interested in the beginning, and then I don't feel as though we really went anywhere that I would have enjoyed us to go. It wasn't even nearly as gritty or dark or weird as I thought it was gonna go, but I still enjoyed it. I'm sorry. I'm being really critical, but I will tell you that I really enjoyed it and I would suggest it. Like, I think it was very fun and very weird, and you will see more thoughts of mine in the video coming very soon, hopefully. Ugh, but the reading vlog. Okay, on to the next.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Okay, the last book I'm gonna talk about, because it's like 3 a.m. and I feel like I'm drunk and I'm not. Like, I feel like, you ever get so tired that you feel like you're intoxicated? Okay, but I have to work tomorrow. Oh, unless I get called out, which would be great. Okay, let me talk about the last one, and then I'll talk about, is it my last book? I don't know. Anyway, we'll talk about that tomorrow with no makeup on and feeling fresh as a daisy. Not. I read Witchcraft for Wayward Girls, which I had heard people saying was very divisive and people were hating it. I don't get that. I don't understand you on that. I read this 4 stars. I loved it. And there were only a few like very clear reasons why I did not get a 5. But this is about a home for unwed mothers, which is basically teen girls who find themselves pregnant because of a lack of information, a lack of understanding of how people get pregnant, of how to prevent people from getting pregnant, and because it's seen as sinful, ungodly to teach girls how to circumvent that. And they just think, oh, well, if they have sex, then that's them and that's their problem, and now they're a pariah forever. But then the boy that has sex with them, well, it's just boys being boys. Disgusting. I'm trying to hold myself back because I'm so tired that I'm like really trying not to say things I shouldn't say. And it's always a lot harder to hold those things back when you're not fully capable of comprehending the actions that you're about to commit. Okay, we follow a main character who goes to one of these homes and doesn't realize she's really being dropped off there. And it's very culty in the terms of like religion and societal pressures and norms. And they're not being treated very well. And they're not being treated as humans at all. They are test subjects that have sinned and are now no longer able to be considered human because they're girls and women. And this is a patriarchal society.
Katie, stop it. Katie.
Okay, Katie, get it together. We need to go to sleep. Okay. They are just treated as a vessel that is going to give birth to a baby that is free of sin, so it is seen as holy, but the mothers are like, you disgusting, you're rat trash garbage, you had sex, you're going to hell. The boy who had sex with him, don't ruin his reputation. Literally, that's the thing. Like, don't ruin his reputation. How dare you?
I want to fight 1,000,000 bears. I want to fight 1,000,000 bears. I hate men. I just hate it.
But in a lesser way, this is also where our main character stumbles upon a book at a kind of book fair that is unknowingly being run by a witch. And she's gifted a book of witchcraft. And she's like, oh, we should try this out. And it's supposed to be like that the girls use this witchcraft to gain autonomy and possibly break free of the patriarchal, horrific shackles that
Are
on them, and today's society. I need a drink. I need a margarita. I can't handle this. Okay. Oh my God. Okay, you know what? Honestly, I can't.
I'm sorry. I can't. I can. No, I can't. I really can't.
And honestly, like, don't feel bad for me. This is like, who cares? Like, I'm making a February wrap up, but like, I can't film it. I'm so fucking tired. Oh my God. Saturday, at my restaurant. Okay, I'll tell you one thing before we cut to me tomorrow discussing the rest of these books. Oh God, please tell me I do it tomorrow. I had a really, really long day and a very exhausting day, because when I said I wanted to fight 1,000,000 bears, it's because a coworker of mine, he and I are now in a sexual harassment case, because he started going off about how women are dumb for saying they would pick a bear over a man, because a bear, he said, 100% of the time would eat you and kill you, but a man would never attack you. And I was like, I'm sorry, let's roll back to the bear thing. 100% of the time? 100%? I've seen a bear in the woods. 100% of the time? I don't know about that. But he basically was telling all the women at my job that if they agreed that they would pick a bear over a man, that they were man haters. And it was not good. It was all this stuff. And he kept going on and on and on. And I told him, I was like, hey, like, you're making me really uncomfortable. Like, you know, I have had, that's not for the internet to know, but like.
You know what? Thank you. You were cutting me off because I didn't need to say that. Thank you so much. That one I approve of, and I appreciate you.
I didn't want to hear about him talking about sexual assault because it was just too triggering. You know, I don't want to talk about it. So I told him that. I said, like, hey, like, you're really making me uncomfortable. Like, please stop talking about this. And he wouldn't stop talking about it. And I told a manager, like, hey, you know, this is really upsetting me. Like, can you please, like, if he says anything more, like, tell him to stop. And the manager didn't deal with it correctly. He's a man. And told me, well, in his defense, he kind of has a point.
Enemy spotted.
So I went to his boss and said, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I said, hey, I just want to let you know that this happened in the restaurant over the entire course of the night, 5 hours of him coming up to me and going, and another thing. And I said, I just want to let you know that this happened. And I went to management and I told them about it and asked them to protect me, and they didn't. And acted like I was being, you know, kind of ridiculous. So I just want to let you know that, because if, God forbid, when this guy that I work with brings this up again and further, I don't want to use this word because it's so meaningful to so many other situations, and I saying like traumatize me, but like maybe just like further trying to traumatize me, because like he's constantly bringing things up that I don't want to think about, even though I'm asking him not to. But I was like, if he continues to do that, and or the manager continues to be flippant and side with a man just because he's a man without caring what he's talking about, I was like, I just want to let you know, the boss of this guy, that's my boss, I will go to HR and we will have a company-wide problem. Because I will make this sexual harassment. I will make this a lawsuit. Like, I would never consider that most of the time because it's not worth my time and energy. But this is a really big deal. And he was making so many women on this shift fucked up. Like, he was really, really messing with so many women that were on the shift that were not capable of telling him to shut the fuck up. And that really, really messes with me. And like, that's why I'm so tired, is because I'm like, not only spent half an hour crying in a private room of the restaurant because I didn't want him to know that he'd had any sort of effect on me, because it's not, I say it's not about him, but like it is. But it's just any time that I, as a woman, feel as though I'm safe, or it's a marginal amount of okay, some guy comes around to prove me wrong. And that it's so sickening to like have to go into work tomorrow and see this guy and think, I didn't think you would do that. I mean, not saying that like he's ever, done that, but like, I didn't think that you would react that way to a woman's trauma. Like, and it just makes you question everyone. It really makes you look at everybody that you work with, that you're friends with, that you're neighbors with, that you're in school with, your family, everybody. And you're just like, wow, I don't think I really know any of you. Wow. I wish it wasn't 3 a.m. That's a PSA. PSA, women everywhere. I see you. I relate to you. I grieve for you. I celebrate you. I love you. Girlhood is better than any relationship you will ever be in. I'll tell you that for free. So yeah. Sorry for the downer, but also it needs to be said. Okay, cut to tomorrow with me telling you about the last 2 books. Boom. Oh my gosh, yikes. I did not think I was gonna go into all that. And I definitely didn't think I was gonna keep it in the video. But I did. And I'm sorry if that upset anyone. Okay, we are gonna talk about Grady Hendrix's Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. Shockingly, I did tell you what it was about, but there are several things that I did not get into when it came to my thought and opinion about the book. I went on a rampage instead. But I ended up really liking my review that I put on Goodreads. So I'm going to read you my review because it's exactly what I want to say, but I'm going to say it better by reading out what I took the time to think through instead of just yapping. Okay. We can yap about the next book, but this beats out every opening line of any book ever. Let me tell you what the opening line is. This is so me. It's so, okay, we're already yapping. We're yapping. She didn't think things could get any worse. Then she saw the sign. Welcome to Florida, it read. The Sunshine State.
Yep.
What do you mean? Grady Hendrix, what do you mean? And I said, Grady Hendrix finds a way to call me out in every single one of his books. It's getting a little scary at this point. Not the Sunshine State. My embarrassing roots continue to show themselves. The roots I try each day to pluck from the story of me. I was like, I'm sorry, are you an author? Like, what is going on? Okay. Grady Hendrix, John Wiswell, and Nat Cassidy are an island unto themselves. An island of authors who've written books that, one, are from the perspective of a woman, 2, deal heavily with life experiences that only are had by women. And 3, speak on feminism, misogyny, and society's dismissal of women. And do all of that with nuance and emotional depth. I don't know what women's study workshop they're taking, but they need to share it with the class. I'm begging. Please give these other male authors an idiot's how-to on writing female characters without infantilizing, diminishing, or demeaning them. The bar is well and truly in hell, Your Honor.
I'm proud of you, you know that, right? Even though you're a man.
I will say that Holly's character is the one that I don't think was written correctly or well, in my opinion. And it wasn't because of her being a woman, it was her age didn't make sense. Because she's 14 in this book, but she reads like she's 8 years old. Because our main character, Neva or Fern, is 15. Okay, that's less than 1 year younger than her. But her and every other character sees Holly as a baby. I'm not joking. Like literally, like the main character's always looking at her like she's so tiny and frail and she's so young and innocent and weak. And don't get me wrong, her backstory definitely makes me understand that there is a lot of stunted growth there, like stunted mental growth. And I get that. But the story and the impact of her character really, really should have been 12 years old. It would have made sense if she was 12. All these 15, 16, 17-year-old girls looking at a 12-year-old, that would have made sense. Even 11, you know, if she had hit puberty or gotten her period really early in life, that would have made sense. 14 years old? No. Okay, and here's where I went on another rampage, like how I did last night. But if you read this and think that these circumstances are outlandish, I want you to keep in mind that these homes for unwed mothers were very much real and were common practice across the country. What the girls in this book go through are experiences told to Grady Hendrix by women who went to these homes themselves. And he says that in the back of the book, that he had been in contact with and researched and spoke to a lot of women who did in fact go to these homes, or mothers went to these homes, such and whatnot. Even more harrowing is that they weren't largely dismantled until 1973 when Roe v. Wade was passed in order to protect a woman's right to an abortion. That was 50 years ago. That was 50 years ago. 50 years is nothing. Your mom could have gone to one of these homes. Your mom, your grandmother, your friend, your lover, your teacher, like any of them could have gone to one of these homes. Even more than you will ever know, because some women are too traumatized to speak about it. That really highlights how fundamentally fucked up the world's fetishization of a woman or girl's innocence is, where the loss of virginity is seen as a prize to win for a boy, but leprosy to a girl.
Pow.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of had bars on that one. In 2022, the Supreme Court overruled Roe v. Wade on the grounds that the right to abortion was not deeply rooted in our nation's tradition or history. Tradition? I'm not gonna lie, that is a word that is so abhorrent to me now. It's so abhorrent because it is almost any time someone is using that word in defense of something, it is rooted in white dictatorship. It's rooted in male dictatorship. It's always being thrown out there as a defense for wrong behavior. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you right now, I do not care if your uncle's, grandma's, sister's, ex-best friend's uncle said, well, you know, men have always made the money and earned the keep, and women have always stayed in the kitchen. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Shut up. We know that that's wrong now. And I don't know if you've seen a calendar recently, but now is kind of where we're at. If you can't adapt to the way a generation of people have evolutionized their empathy, then that's on you, babes. That's on you. You can remain in the past, be my guest, but don't expect new flowers to grow from your withered roots. They'll find sun and water and nourishment from a patch of grass that accepts them for who and what they are. I've been going on a lot of tangents lately. This book had me feeling a lot of things, like a lot of things. 4 stars. 4 stars, so yeah, I loved it. I said I was gonna yip yap about the last book, but I forgot that I wrote notes about it and I haven't read them back. So let's see what this girl had to say about Powerless by Elsie Silver, which is the third in the Chestnut Springs series. The first book I gave like a 3.75, 3.5, something like that. And then I gave Heartless 5 stars, glowing, shining into the sun. This one, 3? I feel like 3. I was gonna say 3.5, but like honestly 3. What did she say? Seems to be a lot of, okay. I'm so glad I wrote this because we were just talking about this on Patreon and I was like, I'm sure it's just me and everybody else is gonna be like, okay, I didn't notice that, but yeah. Seems to be a lot of subtle fat shaming. And my patrons were like, oh no, I noticed that. Because we were like kind of buddy reading it together. Anytime a character is bad or meant to be seen as unsuitable or a bad guy in any degree of the term, even if they're just a little bit annoying, okay? Elsie Silver describes them as, and this is direct quotes, soft around the middle, whose stomach bulges at his belt, or has clearly never exercised a day in their lives. See, that gives me the ick. I don't like that. I don't like it, okay? I find that incredibly harmful for readers because it is so subtle and quickly forgotten, but the sentiment lingers. That was not me impressing myself. That was good. The love interest looking at another male character that way tells us that those are not the men women should find attractive. They're men they should actively scoff at and dismiss. The female protagonist looking at another woman and judging her body in any way, thank you, I'm glad I said that, in any way, is self-hatred and impactful for a female audience to read. Why mention it at all? I know it isn't intentional. I'm sure Elsie Silver is just click-clacking away and would never put something so mentally harmful out into the world. It's so easy to do so that self-policing becomes a weight so burdensome as to feel justified in laying it down. I am so pretentious. Like, I don't talk this way, but the way I write, hold on, let's reel that back, okay? What I said, to put something harmful out into the world, it's so easy to do so that self-policing becomes a weight so burdensome as to feel justified in laying it down. Is this why I love Buddy? I'm a pretentious bitch. I am the secret history. I am dark academia. Like, what am I that is so pretentious. I kind of love myself, but I kind of hate myself. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that's to say no ill will toward Elsie Silver. I'm just pointing out something in the text that made me uncomfortable in my own skin. I want to give the opportunity for readers to decide whether they want to be faced with that before reading. Food for thought. Okay, Katie, I'll tell you this right now. Page 50 to 150, there was a 100-page mark that I really didn't like. I really didn't like it. I had to switch to the audiobook because I could not keep reading it physically because I did not like it. And I will tell you, there was one specific moment that made me, oh my God, it literally page 55, okay? Page 55. Tucking herself in against me, my body releases a breath I didn't even know I'd been holding. This was written 2023, and you're telling me authors don't know that that's a meme? You're telling me they don't know? I refuse to believe. And I wrote, nope, I'm out. Audiobook, here I come. And then, I don't remember when it was. I know I messaged Jan about it because she was loving this book. I don't remember when it was, but I messaged her and I was like, I'm back in it. I like it again. I'm back in it. So, that's why I say 3. I had a good time at some parts, and then I had a really bad time at other parts. Like when we were letting out breaths we didn't know we were holding. You know what I'm saying? Cool. So I'm going to continue with the series, but if I don't give any of the rest of them 5 stars, then I'm just going to keep Heartless and part with the rest of it because I don't want to have a bunch of just 3 stars on my shelf. Okay, to end this out, I'm going to tell you some of the things that I'm currently reading as well as my TBR for March. So the 2 books that I am currently reading. One, I need to finish Bunny. I have not picked this up. It must be the first week of February that I was reading some of it. I got to page 192 and I've been there the entire month. But if you don't know, I'm doing a very deep dive into this book where I'm annotating the shite out of it and also doing a lot of really cute annotations and drawings in it that, oh my God, I sent them to Mona Owan. she loved them. And I want to say, Mona Wad was like, oh, I see. She messaged me something really cryptic, like, oh, you caught on that the invitation is a key. And I haven't responded because I don't know what she's talking about. But she thinks I know. She thinks I caught something that other people didn't see. I don't think I did. I didn't. I don't know what she's talking about. But I don't want to admit to her that I don't know what she's talking about. Because I want her to think, cool. God damn it. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to make a video where I deep dive into the theories and every little piece of this book because it's very confusing. It's very misunderstood in a lot of ways, even by people that love it. Sometimes it is very misunderstood and it's very confusing. It's all over the place. It's convoluted. It is one of the best books ever and I'm obsessed with it. So I want to make a video where I explain it so that if people have read it, they can, or if they don't want to, and they want to watch this video, they can have a better understanding of what they read and what their opinion is on it. Because if you have an opinion on it and you don't actually know what happened, then your opinion might change when you find out what's really going on, or at least what I believe to be what is really going on, and a couple of things that have been confirmed by Mona Awad herself, which I'll tell you about in that video. Anyway, I'm also 70% of the way into Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young, and I'm really enjoying it. The female main character is really annoying, but the guy main character, stunning, love him. I have a bookmark in here. I'm only on page 10, so barely begun, but ripe by Sarah Rose Etter. No idea what this is about, but this cover is stunning and I'm obsessed. And like, there's like kind of mixed media a little bit in it, so sign me up. Okay, look at this cover. Bat Eater by Kylie Lee Baker. Now, the only reason I wouldn't read it in March is if I read it in April for Asian American Pacific Islander month. So I might end up doing that, and that's the only reason I wouldn't read it in March. Or I might physically read it in March and then listen to the audiobook in April. I don't know, but I love this cover. I'm obsessed. I already read this, okay? It'll be in my March wrap up. But I read Interior Chinatown, a novel by Charles Yu. And this is my Smut Salon buddy read for March. And we are going to be watching the 10 episode Hulu series in increments of like 3 or 2 episodes every Wednesday in March. So tomorrow, well, I don't know what day it is for you, but tomorrow we're watching episodes 1 through 3. That'll be very exciting. I'm so pumped. And then we're also gonna be watching The Substance with Demi Moore, which I'm very excited about as well. But I read this 5 stars, absolutely. Well, I gave it a 4.5 because the ending I thought was like not as good as the beginning, but I loved this and I'm gonna reread it and annotate because, oh my God, what a good book. Like, damn. This, stunning. Then I really need to read American Rapture by CJ Lead. The only reason I didn't read it when it immediately came out is because I did not hear very good things. Wait, no, I think it was literally just Jan that didn't like it. And I'm not gonna lie, that's enough to deter me from a book. If Jan says she doesn't like it, I do side-eye the book, I do. Because we tend to have a lot of similar taste, especially when it comes to horror. But Kat, my friend on Patreon, she loved it and it was her second best book of the year. So I'm conflicted, but I love Mayfly so much and this cover is gorgeous. So I really hope I love it. But I'm not gonna lie, I can't do this. I can't do this. This is, I hate this. The font, how tiny it is, well, okay, never mind. Might have to tandem because I like that. Cute. Everything else though, I hate it. I hate that. So I need to get the audiobook because either that or the Kindle because this font is horrible. I am going to be doing an all-day sprint for Sunrise on the Reaping, the 0.5 number in the Hunger Games series, the one that's about Haymitch, because it's coming out on the 18th, and I think it's the 20th that we're gonna do an all-day sprint where we're all gonna read Sunrise on the Reaping. You don't have to read that, but we're all gonna read it together, okay? And that's on my Patreon. And then I got an ALC for The Unworthy by Agustina Bazterrica. But I pre-ordered that book a while ago and it says it's... I'm so excited! I wanna physically read it because I physically read Tender as a Flesh and I loved it. And then the last book that I'm just not realizing this feels like a lot of books, but it's gonna happen. The last book I absolutely will be reading absolutely will be reading is Don't Let the Forest In. This cover, terrifying to me. I'm not joking. This scares me. I don't know what it's called, but I have such a visceral like fear of when a layer is sliced and you can see what's under it like coming out. It doesn't even matter what it is, okay? And this is horrifying. So I'm taking the dust jacket off immediately, but Travis, lovely, beautiful Travis, okay? He wants me to read this so bad. He didn't just double down, he tripled down, okay? Because he sent me the physical book, which is supposed to get here today, because he wants me to start reading it immediately, and he sent me the audiobook, because he said I have to tandem read it, because the audio is fantastic, but the writing is so beautiful that I'm gonna need to annotate. I said, you knew what you wanted, and boy, you got her. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. It's YA, but everyone's telling me that it's worth it. So we'll see. Thanks for sitting and listening to me yip yap. If you've gotten this far into the video, is there a rosary? I was about to say a nun. Is there a rosary emoji? There must be. There must be. Leave the rosary emoji if you've gotten this far. I truly appreciate it and appreciate you. Let me know if you have any similar thoughts to anything that I said, whether it's books I want to read, books I did read, or other things like the mini discussions we had about the Wayward Girls. Leave those down below. Thank you so much for still being here with me, even though I have been very all over the place with editing and putting out videos, but I appreciate you guys a lot, especially my patrons, like so much, because they're genuinely my friends. Okay, I hope you are all having an amazing day, evening, night, dusk, dawn, whatever it is you're having in whatever part of the world you are currently having it in. And I will see you in a video coming very soon. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye now. Bye. Bye-bye.